Hi guys. So today I thought I would just share something that we do here quite often, and that's just to make a soup, a stock soup from our leftover chicken. And it's a delicious lunch. This is probably one of my favorite all-time lunches, and it's so simple to make. So I actually started this yesterday and I forgot to film it, but basically all I do is we go to the butcher and we ask them to give us some chicken carcasses, and they sell it for like $1 or whatever, and so that's what we do, and we just put it in the freezer. I know right now you don't want to go out to the grocery store and get that, so if you are cooking chicken, just debone it before you eat it. Debone the chicken, and then you can use that bone structure, whether it's the legs or the breast. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's raw or if it's cooked, but you can use that for your stock. And then as you're tasting it, if you feel that it needs a bit more chicken flavor, you just add some broth into it. But don't only do the broth, because it won't be very tasty. And then we just add salt and pepper. And then inside here, we threw in some carrots and some onions and some celery. That just happened to be what we had. And you let it boil for several hours, half a day, whatever. The longer it boils, the better it is. You let it boil on simmer. Okay, so what I've done is I've poured one container through a sieve into another pot underneath it. So I'm keeping all the solids away from the broth, but also because that's where all the flavor is, down in the broth. But also I like to keep the little chunks that are in here, so I'm going to manually take that piece of the chicken off of the bone, making sure not to put any bone into the broth. I'm also going to keep the piece of the carrot and the pieces of onion, and I'm going to throw that all into the liquid. Here I've got the broth, I've got some carrots that were in that stock, and I also got some chicken pieces. Now you add whatever you want into it. For me, I'm a big rice fan, so I'll do rice. Do about 3/4 cup of rice. Don't forget, it's going to expand and take a lot of the liquid, so you don't want to put too much rice. I recommend not more than 3/4 cup, because you'll see your water will disappear quickly because the rice will absorb it all. And on this one, I'm just going to put peas. So just frozen peas, maybe, whatever. And that's it. This one's really simple. I'm not going with extra meat. If I had chicken, I could throw chicken in here, cooked or raw. It doesn't matter. Well, if it's raw, obviously you got to boil it until it becomes cooked again. So maybe stay with cooked chicken if you're going to add chicken into it. But this one here, it's really going to be a vegetable soup, but it's going to have a chicken flavor to it because of the way that I made the broth out of the chicken stock. That's it. I'm going to let this cook. So like I said, remember all that liquid? Well, it's all gone because the rice has sucked it all up. So this is too thick for me. So what I'm going to do is, like right now it's like a stew. It's become a stew instead of a soup, which is okay too, but I want it to be a soup. So I'm just going to put in a couple cups of water into this, and I'm going to let it boil. And so you see, by adding 1+ cups of water, I was able to bring the stock back up to a soup form again. Yeah, and it's good. But yes, it does lose a little bit of its flavor when you add the water. So maybe put less rice, and that won't be a problem. But anyways, that's it. That's the finished product. That's the homemade chicken soup. No, it's actually a vegetable soup with chicken stock. Enjoy.